Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has awarded Airtel Mobile Commerce Nigeria Limited, a subsidiary of Airtel Africa PLC, the full super-agent license to operate as an agency network. This was disclosed in a press release entitled Nigeria Super Agent Full License Approval, signed by Simon O'Hara, the company's secretary. This comes after MTN Nigeria obtained final approval from the Central Bank to operate as a payment service bank. All right, Business Analyst Chika Mbonu joins me now to discuss more. Good morning.
Morning.
It's good to see you.
I've not seen your people. They're not buying phone for you.
Yeah, actually, there were discussions about whether the People's Party could actually be about 1,000 naira for the presidential form, governorship about 700 naira.
You know, man from Olo, so I can arrange for the youths in my area.
Yeah, for the local government chairman, that could be about 100 naira per form. And I'm just bringing it down to the grassroots if that is what you want to talk about. But again,
big country, big problems.
Yeah, but again, I think the attraction, that's what they call the whiff of money. Remember that from James Halichase?
Yeah, Halichase.
The whiff of money. It's either we're running broke or we're looking how to pick something up. Because again, sometimes the price could be so disproportionate, perhaps with the item we want to sell. But again,
let's talk about oil. Let's talk about
oil, because where does the money go? Let's start with the oil production shortfall. The bigger picture is that story. First quarter, the World Bank. Or what else is new in what the World Bank has?
Nothing new in our story. 500,000 barrels a day for a nation that is struggling for revenues. You know, I mean, when else can we have this opportunity? You're selling a product that suddenly there's an upsurge in demand, and other people don't have it. It's an opportunity for you to maximize your revenues. What ours, we can't even produce. Look at 500,000 barrels per day. The problems are plenty. The problems are many. I mean, you know, there's nothing new about this. You will ask, what are the problems? You know, burst pipes, theft of oil, you know, insecurity in those areas. And just mention it. So you find that our quota of almost 1.7 million liters a day, barrels a day, we're only barely able to cover 1.2 million barrels a day.
Did we have as much as Oveteme George did that report for us, and one of those that were interviewed there says, look, this is our own share. This is what we want to take. The folks have decided to take the rest. We don't have the farmland. We don't have the waters, the rivers or streams to fish. So any piece of land that we have, we're going to take it. We are there. So I'm beginning to ask, what could be responsible for this rapidly increasing oil theft and illegal refineries and sabotage?
You know, I have a problem with a lot of things. The first problem I have is the fact that you and me know that our major source of revenue is this oil. And let our legislatures not hold this against me. But the sense of urgency with which they rush to approve borrowings, you know, I would have thought that's the kind of a sense of urgency they will use to address leakages in our revenue. I would have thought by now that there would have been a more diligent investigation about the question you asked me now. You know, why this? Why is this happening?
The speed at which it's
increasing every day. Why, you know?
Because even in the days of the heydays of militancy,
it wasn't like this.
Not as much as this.
And so I would have loved them to, because there are people who are supposed to hold everybody accountable, legislators. You know, so it's not just the president sending requests for approval for this number of loans, and within seconds they approve it. And nobody is trying to investigate on why we're not getting the revenue.
What's happening to your revenue
side of it?
You quickly sign up on borrowings. But you're a CEO, you're not asking about revenue leakages.
So that's my first problem. I have it on good authority, sir, that the Ministry of Transport, NIMASA, MPA, and so on, have provided the required resources for our security agencies to be able to, like, curtail this theft of oil.
But that fire incident in Imo State was at a vast expanse of land.
See,
so I'm wondering why such a thing could be going on.
But you see, I've said that in this program several times. Let me land my thought. How can it be happening? Are they not aware of it? And I use the word, let me use that slang, when the money is sweet. When the money is sweet, it's a slang, when the money is sweet, people who are supposed to, actually make sure that things don't go wrong.
Could look the other way, could be looking the other way. And that's the fact for us. Because, as I told you, the dynamism with this thing with which they approve the debts, President writes a letter, that is approved. Meanwhile, the revenue system of our country, nobody is really going there to go and check what's happening. Any strategy or thinking we can use to deal with this?
Who is in charge of the security for our waters? The Navy is involved, the Army is involved, the police is involved. Why is
the civil service?
The defense,
So everybody's involved.
The communities are involved. So, do you think that as me and you are in this place now, I just take off now and go to a oil producing area and go and start stealing oil?
I don't have any other question along that line. But quickly, if we tie that to our deficit spending, what's wrong with deficit spending? The U.S. have deficits.
So
what's wrong with our own deficit spending?
One, how do you fund the deficit spending? Two, what do you do with the deficit? Look at our own deficit. The deficit driven by what? Consumption. It's consumption. Look at it. Consumption. Whereas the expenses are what? Increasing. The revenues are falling. Now, look. If you looked at the report, you would have found out that the recurrent expenditures are what? Are increasing. Capital expenditures are falling. It's like the thing that should happen. So it's the fact that it's consumption, lifestyle.
Simply consumption-based deficit.
That's why there's a problem. Deficit financing is accepted, but you see, deficit financing is supposed to be you use them to fund revenue-producing assets or things that make the environment easier for people to create wealth. In such way, the wealth circulates, spins around, and creates revenue to start to pay the debt. But what are we doing here? We are just burning and eating it.
Well, we're burning candle at both ends.
At both ends, we're eating. So who carried the deficit? So the deficit is piling up. If you look at the report also, from about 4 trillion, it's going to about 7 trillion.
Also now we're going to hit 10 trillion.
I have a feeling that in 2022, we'll hit 10 trillion, even though the government is aiming about 7.4 trillion. Well, because we always have this habit of under-budgeting. We do very well in budgeting. The president reads a speech, put the high falling revenues up there. Now, put the expenses up there, but at the end of the day, the revenues, 50% achievement marks.
And the gap gets wider.
And expenses will be more than 100% achievement. And the gap keeps getting wider and wider. And again, we go out and borrow to fund consumption without creating wealth. That's the problem with deficit financing. Deficit financing is allowed if you use to create wealth.
I'm sure the licensing of super agent of Airtel Africa and MTN getting a PSB license will be a wealth creation for some. But let's leave that conversation till tomorrow.
It's okay.
I got a phone call from you on that.
We'll talk about that tomorrow.
And maybe there's something in the e-pocket wallet that you have there for me.
We'll do that tomorrow.
Let's talk about that tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Thank you. Great to have you.